Now it's more complicated part. Huh? So we did what? That's data element today. Yesterday we did where, and now we do when. This is the most complicated part in the HIS. Okay? That means you can collect the data in monthly, yearly, annually, any data, and even weekly. You can do all those things. You can collect everything. Okay? A report, if it's reported monthly, DHS can automatically produce quarterly aggregation. It can also produce annual aggregation automatically. You don't have to do anything. Okay? So this is the one of the, and also you can have related period. For example, you have created a chart, and you just say related period. And next month when it comes down, the chart gets automatically updated. So you don't have to worry about that. The data and the report get automatically updated because it just moves through. And what you do to make this work in DHIS, the best part is you don't have to do anything. The period DHIS will load automatically. So you don't have to define anything for the period. But this is the concept called data set. Now you will be creating the data set. You created the data element. You had created the ORG-UNIT before. You had created the category combinations and everything. Now we try to put all these things together. Okay? So we have a data set. It's a collection of all the data element on a particular frequency. That means you collect, like, say, all the ANC related data monthly, and then all the population quarterly. Population annually. Yeah, and then you can collect the bed quarterly or semi-annually. So you can define how should be your collection frequency should be in DHIS. It's no problem. But as a general principle, don't collect the same data item in two data set with different frequency. For example, you have a BCG in one data set, say family plan, the EPI, and BCG is also there in HMIS. HMIS is quarterly, but like BCG is in the EPI is monthly. Don't do that. Because when you have monthly, DHS can automatically produce the quarterly report to you. But don't put it in two different data set. Okay. Let me just show you how to create a data set. Okay. Okay. So now what I'm going to tell you is about, like, how about the data set? How do you create a data set? How do you combine ORG-UNIT? How do you combine data element to make a form or make a data set? We don't use the word forms. Forms are very different. What you see in the paper is a form. But like we are converting that form into data set. That means like form can look very different. We can create it very different, whatever way we want. Okay? So always all the creation in the maintenance. So we go for maintenance. Click on data set. Click on data set again. These are already the data set which are existing. The same way as we added the data element, we add the data set. We click on add new. And then we give a data set name. For example, I just say JL ANC data set. Okay. The same code is also there. It's unique. You can have code for you. Description is fine. Expiry dates. I'll come back to that one a bit later. And this one also, these two. Days after the period qualified to timely submission. It's just like timely reporting or submission, it comes down. But for now, let's not worry about it. When we talk about quality, maybe in today in the late afternoon, we talk about quality, we can explain on this one. Okay? So now we focus on name, short name, code, frequency. Okay? Here we define whether we want to collect monthly, quarterly, daily, weekly, semi-annually, fiscal year, everything. So we say monthly. This I'll talk about a bit later. Category combination. Don't worry about it now. You don't have to worry about all these things. The form details. Do you want to allow future dates? In some of the forms you want to allow future date, but most no, because you are entering for the previous months and years. So for me, no. Is all the data element in the field, in the form, to be filled in? This is one of the compulsory thing. You say like, if everything is filled in, then only we accept it. If not, no. But like, don't use this this button or this as yes, and you have your mobility data, ICD code. Because ICD code, like, it's a big form with all the age groups. No one can fill all the age groups. Okay? This is good to have if you have a small form, like, say, immunization or family planning or on a delivery, you can use that one. It's okay. But don't use this one for other things. Big forms especially. Legends. Which one? Now this one you can change it. It's fine. Yeah. Like if, for example, you are collecting monthly and then like later you collect it quarterly, it's fine. Like DHIS records the data and everything, but like it's when you analyze, you have to make sure that like you analyze it right. That's it. But like if you have future period and you close no, that's maybe a problem. But most of the time it's fine. Okay, skip offline. If you have a long form, very long form, like what DHIS does, once it gets loaded, it loads into your Catchian browser so that you can do the data entry without any internet connection. And when internet comes up, like then like it will automatically update the data to online. This is not really offline thing, but like if you have a very bad internet. Like for example, if you're using mobile GPRS to enter the data, it's not stable connection. But like you still want to do the data entry. So it will allow that one. But if you have a big form, don't do that. Because it will take a long time to load. Yeah, if you have really huge form, you always say offline. Yes, okay. And if you have small form, it's fine. Big form, it's different. Remove this one. I'll tell this one when we talk about the forms. And then here, I now select the groups. You have already created groups, right? So now let me just take, okay, G2 here. I'll take this data item and this data item in my data set, okay? So what I did, name, I said it's monthly. And then I just added my data element to it, to the form, to the data set. Don't worry about this one. It can be later part. And save. So now it's done. Now what you have done is you have created a form. But you haven't assigned the form to particular health facility yet. You have just made a form and said this should be collected on a monthly basis. Okay, so you have what and you have when, but you haven't specified where. Whether it has to be collected from all the facilities or from one facilities or anything, that you can do it now. Okay, so what you do, this is the data set which I create. You click on it, it will give list of all the things. Okay, assign to org unit, which you have already created. You assign one or many. Sharing, don't worry. Edit is to what you have done to edit it now. Translate is to translate. Don't worry about that. And this I'll talk about later. Okay. Now we focus on only edit and then assign org unit. Okay. I'll click on assign org unit. And let's say group 2, they have already created a province. That's good. I select only this community medicine and this care are able to enter the data for monthly, not the others. Okay, and I save it. That's it. So now what you have done, you have created a form which health facility can enter the data monthly. Okay, this is what it takes to create a data item or a form in DHIS. You don't have to worry about anything else. Create your org unit, your data elements, assign them in the group. You create a data set, make it a frequency monthly, and then you add some data element to it and assign to a particular org unit. Okay? Multiple data set to a form? There is no form. A data set is a collection of data element. You can make it as a look like a form. A data set can combine 2-3 forms. A data set can be a collection of all the list. It's fine. It depends on, like, usually what we say data set is collection of all the data elements from one particular facility or org unit for that particular frequency. Anything which you are collecting from, let's say, health center A, whatever health center A is reporting monthly will be one data set. And that data set you can break down into multiple sections, or you can also break down into multiple data sets too, based on how do you want to design your form, based on who is going to fill it. Because sometimes what happens in a health center, the immunization is entered by one person, family planning is entered by other person. So then you need to create multiple data set so that, like, that person, that user logs in and enter the data. It's very important to give a person the username, because, like, then we know, okay, this person is not submitted, or this person has changed it, or this person has done something wrong. We need more training. So it's always good to do that one. Okay, a creation of the users will come in next this phases. Okay. Yeah. 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 Like here, like when you're collecting a data, you have a common purpose. That's why you collect the data, right? So you don't collect the data just to accumulate it. So one of the thing is, like, the outbreak thing. It's when you're collecting the outbreak, it's a different kind of set of rules. So it's weekly, and once you have outbreak, you have an alert mechanism and everything. That's very different. When you have a monthly reporting, you are saying, like, what are the different monthly services what you're providing, and that's representing the facility. Outbreak, it's not representing a facility service. It's representing all, like, the whole action, what happens there. So it's a different people are collecting it, and data element what you're collecting are different way. So you can say measles cases recorded at the facility. That what facility records. Measles case outbreak, it's usually outreach area or other people who record it, and, like, they can either send it by SMS to the system or by phone or things.
This data was from disaster management team, and this is from normal operations of health facility.
Because when you Organit, when you're creating it as a particular facility, right?
Yeah.
You enter it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there is one particular part where your things are relevant, and I'll come to that one.
Okay.
I'll take your like this second part in 5 minutes later. Okay?
In assigning the organizational units, for example, we assigned it on a higher level.
Yeah.
Does everyone in the cascade
No.
also we have to select each facility?
Yes. Well, how do you select each facility? You don't have to. You don't have to go like the question was. Okay, this ANC data set assigned to Organit. Yeah. If I click on Sierra Leone, does everyone gets it? You don't. No, no one gets it. But you don't have to go and click everything. What you can try to do, you have created groups, you have levels. So you say, select all the data from the health facility. All my health facility in the country will report this one. And you say, select at level. And when you click this one, I'll make state. So everything gets selected. So all the province in the country, it's selected, so that like everyone is get reported. So you don't have to go and click one by one by one, okay? Or you say, now, like I want to, these are the groups, okay? This is the group 2 clinic. I say all the group 2 clinic will report this thing, okay? So I click on here. So these are all the different clinic which group 2 has assigned. So all the clinic will report on this one.
Just you were wanting, if you're adding more organisms to the group later on, they will not automatically be assigned to the stream.
Yeah.
But you have another feature that allows you to assign data sets directly to the organism group.
Yeah.
And that's more dynamic. I can probably show that also, but
Yeah.
because this is what when you select a group, it's the current group. Say, change, it stays
What?
still the same. Yeah, I finished. Too late.
Andreas is looking. I'm just giving the mic. Okay, so it is fine. So now just save it. Now you want to look at the screen, how it looks like. For that, so now its designing part is done. That's it. No more designing part. Now I want to look at my data entry screen, how it looks like. So you go for service, because data entry is routinely, so that's a service. You go for service, you click on data entry. I select group 2. Where is group 2? Group 2 here. This one, and this one. And you see, you have the data set assigned here. Okay, I'll make it a bit bigger. No, that's too big. It's fine. Okay. Select the data set and select the period, because I assigned monthly. It came monthly. There is 2014 only. But if you want previous year, you just click on this button, previous year. Okay. Then you get all the previous year. And I click on it. This is what people have created. So you get it here automatically. Okay. So you don't have to worry about that. The form will be created by here. You can make the form nicer. That Martin will tell later how to make it even more nicer. Okay. This is just a list like this. Let me include one more. I go to maintenance, data set. I'll go to my data and edit. I'll come down and add, let's see, group 2 mobility. Yeah, now we can see like what group 2 have done. Who is group 2? It's here, right? Okay. I'll take malaria. Okay, all the malaria. And then save. Okay, I'll go here, data entry. I select the same. Okay. See, this is all your category combination what you created, right? So DHIS will automatically create you the whole form for you. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to create one data element. So you create, it will give you everything. So in the categories, I was saying, if you want to put the male, gender below or above, if you want to change that one, you change that one here. Okay? So this, now we have created your form. It's no problem. Okay? You can also have filter. Yeah, that's all the things. Marty will explain more about this one later. Okay? Fine? Clear? Okay? Data elements, it's nothing. Just take that one, put it into a data set, put it into a frequency, monthly, okay? And then assign to your org unit. Okay, clear? So shall we go for assignment now? More assignments? No? No. I know why you people say no assignment, because it's after lunch. Yeah, after lunch you said, no assignment. But very short assignment, okay? Title, you can change it, don't worry. That's all this one, Martin. He will explain you how to change the title and everything. Yeah. But this hierarchy,
Data set. Can you go to the data set and assign the organization unit only a few facility?
yes.
So what in here can see?
Okay, because like, you know, there are lots of data sets are assigned. Huh? For example, I click this, and this district has this data set. So different people have different data set to fill in. But since I'm logged in as, and you are all admin, and you are assigned to Sierra Leone, you will see the whole structure. If I create a user and assign, I'm only belong to say group 2, I can't see any other hierarchy at all. In here, I just see group 2 and what is belong to group 2 only. And when we talk about the user role and users, you will know about that one, okay? Okay, now like quickly I'll tell you about your assignment. More assignment. It's very simple. This assignment should not take long, because if you have finished your earlier assignment, this assignment takes 5 minutes. So what you have to do for your assignment 2 and assignment 3, which you have already created your data elements, groups, and everything, just create a data set, monthly data set, and assign to your org unit which you have created before. Okay? For some org unit. And for rest of other org unit, you take assignment 3 and create a data set, say quarterly, and put it into other org units, okay? Assignment 2, monthly. Assignment 3, quarterly. And you assign to different facilities for your org unit. And once you have done that, just take a, I have to take a show of the printout. Printout. Okay. Sorry? Okay. Like in data entry screen, there is something, huh? One more second before you jump into assignment. Okay? I just take some data set here. this is the form which has been already been created. So look, now it is a bit beautiful. Here there is a something called print form, print blank form. Okay, print form is just like people enter the data and they want to take a printout. So you don't have to go for other things. You can just do that one. Or it's a print blank form. So once you create your data set and you have assigned, go to this print form, yeah, blank form or any form, it's fine. And say, save it as a PDF, give your group name, and upload. That's it. Upload to the Moodle. Fine? So it's very simple. You take assignment 2, put all the data element from the assignment 2 to a data set, whatever data set name you want to call, and then monthly. Okay? Assignment 3, quarterly, and assign it to your org unit. And after assigning, go to data entry, look at your screen, and see, it's beautiful, and then print the form and submit the form in the Moodle. So, okay, and you have 15-20 minutes. That's it. Okay. Now you have already created the form. So what Martin and Thubi will do is just to make sure the form have different sections and different options, what are there in data entry, and plus how to make it beautiful.
Okay, so now everybody has now created a data set, right? So John has already shown you the auto-generated one that you get with no effort at all. You can just start doing the data entry. I will now show you how to make it a little bit more usable. So we have, for data entry in DHIS, there are many ways of doing that, as you probably know. There's, of course, the desktop version, which I'm going to show you now. But we also have the mobile clients, we have the web API, we have many, many means of getting data into the system. But for this session, I'm going to concentrate on the regular standard desktop one. And on Friday, we will have a mobile session. And in that session, there will be demonstrations of our smartphone data entry client, and also our JTME data entry client. Okay? And I also have a session on doing data entry with web API on Saturday. So, as John showed you a little bit, there are many, 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 many options, but I will not go through everyone, but I will go through a few of them. But the first thing I just want to show you, do you know which organ you attached to? Okay, I will just. So we can, in case if you forgot, I will show you how to assign it again. We just do assign to orchestration units. Because I don't remember which even. Okay, he had this one. I just take the early on. It's simpler. Okay. Okay, so let's just see what John gave us before, yeah? Right? This is what we ended the last time. So there's two things happening here. The default just means that this is the category. There's no specified category option. So it's a data elements with no breakdowns at all. That's why it looks like this. And the default name is just something the system will give you. The second one is actually with lots of breakdowns. It also uses this one. This is the name of the category option, if you remember. So this is all for free, right? So what we want to do now, we will start by, I will leave this without a category, but I want to change the name. And I want to add something we call sections. Sections allow you to break down the form into smaller pieces. And also change the names and everything, huh? Simply go to the dataset section. You select the dataset you want to do. Again, I will continue with John's. You have to select a category combo because for every section there can only be one category combo, right? Because if the breakdowns are different in the same section, it will look very, very funny, right? So every section only has one category option combo or category combo. So let's start with the default one. Yeah? It's the one with the default name here. And what all we're going to do now is just to change the name. Add new. Give it a name. So call it this, but just ANC and DPT3. And after that, I have to select within this category combo which data element do I want to include in this section. So let's include both. And we save. So let's just look at how it looks now. You refresh the page. If you download the dataset again and update the metadata, and this time it looks different, yeah? But it also looks like something is missing, yeah? Before we had the big category option combo with all these other breakdowns. But since we now switched to using sections, this is gone. We have to recreate that as another section using the same UI. But before we do that, I just want to show you that the ordering here is also flexible. So let's go back to the same place as before. ANC dataset. And now we can see it's here. Edit. And let's change the order. So now this DPT3 first. Just using these two arrows on the side, up and down. Right? Save. We refresh the page again. And this time, you'll see DP3 is on the top. Okay? This is still auto-generated, right? We just give it a bit more information to work with, and it allows it to look a little bit nicer. So the next would then be to add the other category combo. So again, you always do the same. You go to select the data set. This time we select the other category combo. We add new. So this time let's do something different. Instead of adding all of them, let's add the top two. And then we create another section with this. So let's do with malaria. Yeah? So let's call this malaria. Save it. And again, select the data set. Select the category combo you want to use. Add new. And now you see the malaria ones are now gone because they're already in use. And I'm not really sure what this is, but I just call it, John, what should I call it? PF? Okay, just PF. Save it. So now, if you go to the data set, you will see that we have 3 sections in the form. Right? Sorry? No, it's okay. And again, we refresh the page. You always have to refresh because the metadata is downloaded in the browser. So it doesn't know to re-download before you actually refresh the page. Select the data set. Again, we select the period. And this time, you'll see we have malaria and we have PF. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to touch on. No problem. So, there's a few ways to also filter what you see, because you might end up with 50 sections, right? Or 20 maybe at least, if you have really, really large forms. So the first thing you get for free without doing anything is this filter on section. It basically allows you just to select the section. So if you say malaria, it will only show malaria. PF, it will only show PF. And of course, it will only show this one. But we have an alternative view of exactly the same sections, as John mentioned briefly, and that's if you go back to the data set. not in section management, but in the data set. We go down, find it, click on it, edit. And there's an option called render sections as tabs. And you all know what tabs are, right? It's just something to click on, very simple. And it's like this is a tab, yeah? So this time the sections will be as tabs instead. So click yes. Save it. Refresh the page. And this time the sections are as tabs. So you can jump between them. Still, we're not doing any coding, not any custom stuff. We're just giving it a little bit more to work with, right? So while we're still working with the sections, I will show you something else. That's something called gray field management. So I think one of the forms John was working with from Laos or from Cambodia, you will see there were some fields that didn't really apply to, for example, males, like A and C. They don't go to the, it's only take female, yeah? So let's see how we can do that. How we can actually add some fields that will block data input. Again, the sections are already made, but this time instead of doing edit, we have something called section gray field management. I don't sure if I have some male, female in this one. Let's see. What do you have? Okay, let's do these four, for example, just to test it out. So this is the malaria section. And we will now make it impossible to enter some data here in these fields. Yeah, malaria. See, this is the same view almost, as you can see here. So it's very easy to navigate and know where it is. So this time, we go over here. Let's do outpatient. And let's do only male, for example. So now, this should be disabled and this should be disabled. Go back, done, it's saved. Click the refresh again. Select the data set, January, malaria. Now it's blocked there. Very, very simple. Just click, 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 and it's blocked. Furthermore, as John showed you very, very briefly, every section will also have a filter because now there's only 2 data elements. It's not much, yeah? But if you have 50 maybe, you have to do a lot of scrolling, yeah? So it's very, very nice. You can just say, if you know parts of the word, you can just jump and filter it out. This also, you don't have to do anything to get this working. It's always there. Yeah? So these are about the basics you can do with section field management, and it's usually I don't depending on the use case this might be enough. Definitely, if it's possible, you should use only the section management because the advantage is that if you add another data element to this data set, it will automatically just show up in a section. You don't need to do anything magical. It's already done for you. So I think that's enough for the section management. There's going to be assignments later, but for now I think it's okay. So now it's going to be the more advanced one because while this is okay for many cases maybe, sometimes you need something completely custom. They have a form they give you. It has to look like this. That happens sometimes. So we have something we call the custom forms. The options, you mean? Yeah, that doesn't work for this. This is for multi-organs. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what John is saying is it enabled in this system? Huh? It's not enabled, okay. Okay, so we have something But then I have to create another data set because it's not really a good military. So we have something. Okay, so what John is saying, like now of course we select one org unit, one data set, one period. Yeah, so you can only enter data for one period. Sorry, for one organization unit. But sometimes you want more of a tabular approach. You're filling data for 10 different facilities at the same time. So we have something called multi-organization unit forms. It's using the same form, but it allows you to look at it a bit differently. Huh? So we can do that now, but for this kind of form with 3 sections and everything, it will not look very nice. So I will create a new data set. Something very simple. Let's see, what should we add? You can do ANC 1, 2, 3. Right? So we call this ANC 1, 2, 3. Set it to monthly. You don't really have to do that, but it's always nice to do it monthly. Yeah, that's basically all you have to do. There's nothing has changed here. You're just creating a data set as you did before. Save it. This time when you assign it to organization units. Last time I showed you I just assign it to Sierra Leone, yeah? But let's do these 2 children of Sierra Leone. Bo and Bombali, and actually Bonte also. So now, if you go to Bo, Bombali, Bonte, we can enter data as before. Just as the same as the one John made you. So let's refresh. And let's go to Bo. And it's AC 1, 2, 3, yeah? Very, very simple. But maybe you want to enter this same, like you have 10 facilities you want to enter data for at the same time. We have something we call sub-organization units. So now I'm clicking on Sierra Leone, but if you remember, I assign it to 2 children of Sierra Leone. So the system will know that there's 2 organization units with the same data set under Sierra Leone. So let's see. You see here? Sub-organization units. It means that there are some children that have this in common. Eh? So let's do ANC 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I think there's something wrong there. That's why I, yeah. No, sorry? Okay. So this is one that we had before. It didn't work because you also have to add sections to make it work. That's why it didn't work. But anyways, this is another one on our demo database. Just show cases how it actually works. And you can see, yes, Helion, Bo, Bobali, Bonte. Now all the organists are on the side. And I will actually show you one more thing. We got the feature requests not too long ago, and they said, oh, but we want the organization units down. Huh? Just like this way you said, as on the columns. So there's another option we have. This was a facility assessment. So you find facility assessment, edit, and there's an option called render vertically. It means that the organization units will be on the columns instead. Yes? And then just save it. Refresh the page. Again, Sierra Leone is already selected. You can do facility assessment. Into 13. Now you see the data elements are back on the left. On the columns, we have Sierra Leone, Bo, we have all the organization units. If you have many organization units, it might be a bit of scrolling, so it might not. That's why the default is to have it on the rows. It's possible at least, and it's if you enter data for many facilities, they will definitely be quicker. Okay. So let's start with the next part of this. Maybe it's just, yeah, okay. I will actually go back to I will use the one I created before, ANC 123. Very, very simple data set. So the default look is like this. It's okay, because we have the category option. It will also picks up the name and looks okay. But the thing about okay, now I want to say I want to have the fixed and outreach below each other, and I want the data on this side instead, for example. Or I want to change the label. I want to do something fancy. I cannot do this here. This is just generated. I cannot change this after the fact. This is what I have to work with. So we have something called custom forms. And I will show you a very, very brief introduction now. And TUI will go through many examples and also give you an assignment. So this is going to be a very, very simple overview. Again, you click on the dataset you want to add a custom form for. Design data entry form. So this is our editor. I don't know if you can see it. It looks okay. You have to give it a name. Name doesn't really matter in this case. I'll just use the same as the dataset name. You can only create one form per dataset, so it's less important, I would say, the name. We have a bit of styling options. It means that if you use Gmail, you have an option on Gmail like a condensed view, like a very spacious view and all this. And this is something a little bit similar, just to the way it will render the form. But let's just keep that regular. So this is what we have to start with. It's completely empty. So if you now just save it and close it, refresh the page. Not very exciting, right? This is our custom form. It's completely blank. Not much you can do here. So let's start with adding a table. Let's see. It's a bit. Can we move it down here? No. Okay. And again, TUI will go through this very, very slowly and very, very differently after. I'm just now going to show you how to do it. Okay. Let's see. And there are many, many options there, and you will probably recognize the options from Word. It's the same kind of bolding and tables, and this should be quite familiar to you. You can change the fonts, you can do the strike through, and all kinds of options. So yeah, let's do a table. So in this case, we have let's look at what we have, right? We have 3 data elements. Every data element has 2 breakdowns, fixed and outreach. And now we want to create a custom form for that, okay? So that means let's just start with something simple. So we did 3 columns. That would be the name, the fixed, and the outreach. It'll be a bit similar to one we got for free. So that means for the table, we need 3 columns. The first row, we will have the descriptive names for the columns. So that will be the name, fixed, and outreach. So in this case, you can say the first row is actually the headers. This just decides how it will look in the end. And okay. Okay, now we have a very, very simple table. So let's just say we call it name. We could call it the data element. Fixed outreach. Right? This is what we want to put in the table. So so what we also got for free before was the names of everything, right? But in this case, it's up to you. The names are really up to you. You can write whatever you feel like. So we can just say ANC 1 and ANC 2, just to use some other names. And then we add, and then since you have 3 data elements, let's add 1 more row. Right click, row, insert row. I can show it out. Row, insert row after. It just means that it's going to be added to the appended to the end. Right. Again, it should be, if you use the word and everything, it should be familiar to you. Yeah? Merging of columns and all this kind of stuff is very, should be common enough. So let's do ANC3 for the last one. And now comes the not the tricky part, but what actually makes it actually work. And now we're going to put the input field inside this table. So you see the cursor is active here. So make sure that you have it where you want to put the actual input field. In this case, we're going to put it in the fixed column. You just double click, and it's inside. Okay? And we do the same with the next one. Now we have the outreach also. Fixed, fixed, outreach, outreach. So this table then we rendered almost exactly as the auto-generated one, but at the same time you change the labels, you did a few different things. Yeah, I will do it later. Right? So just having this, we can close it down again. So this is the full screen button. I will just click on that again. Change it down to the normal size. Save it. Go back here. Refresh. And this time if you use the custom form with the data entry. So it doesn't look very fancy, but of course if you know HTML and CSS, which is not related to DJS, but this is what you use to do the customization, you can basically do anything. It's your web page, huh? So whatever you want to add, you can do. So just try to add some data here. It works fine. Right? Okay. Right. So this is very simple custom form. Very simple. Two will show you more advanced examples, because of course you can do, as you would expect, you can add colors, you can do bold text if you want, right? You can do italic and all this, and two will show that much better than me. So I will not do too much stuff here. I guess you can, yeah. Anyways, you're just gonna make a few changes, and you will get this very hands-on very soon. And this is also not something that most people will never do, honestly, because this is more of an advanced feature, and yeah, that's why we hire people like Tui, and she will come and help you with this kind of stuff, because it does require quite a bit more than just clicking. But if you know HTML and CSS and even JavaScript, you can have a very dynamic form with whatever you feel like. You can do calculations, you can get data from other services, really up to you. So again, I will just refresh the page and just show how it looks now. Right, just a small change. And really, this just shows you a very basic introduction, and I will now hand it over to Tui, and she will What? Data entry screen? Sorry? Oh, okay. Really? Okay. Okay. But we do that tomorrow also, huh? So that's why I did it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what John is saying, there's a bit of magic behind these input fields. If you want to look at like previous data, if you want to look at numbers later on, you want to add some comments. All you really need to do, yeah. Okay.
I can use the rod. Where's the rod?
I don't know.
The rod.
It's the rod.
The mic. The rod. I think it's touching up. Okay. Usually, like in what happens in the health side, the data on health is not like just like last year or last month. when we are looking at one particular data, for example, diarrhea or malaria, you see a seasonal trend. Like for example, in the rainy season, malaria is high. In the dry season, diarrhea is high. So you really want to get the whole curve or the trend for the last 13 months if you want to look at some of the figures. So in DHIS, what we have done, like every field, what you enter. For example, usually data entry happens at different level, not at the facility. Facility people, they just like fill it in and give the paper to a higher office. So when you're entering the data at the district level and you're looking, is it 22 or 72? I don't really know. So then what you do, you double click on one particular field and you get, okay, you can just zoom out a bit. You get 13 months graph showing all the data. Right now, since we have entered for only 1 month, so you have 1 month data, okay? You get the whole 13 months graph. Yeah. Yeah, one field is fine. You entered for December 2013, and it's 13 months from January 14 to January 13. But like, yeah. So usually, like what happens, it shows you 30 months graph, and then it will show you average, and it shows you also the trend. You can also put min and max limit, and we tell that like to the health person to make this min and max limit. DHIS, if you already have the 10 months or 1 year data, it can also produce min and max limit for you if you already have a data in it. So that's why importing legacy data becomes so much important. That means it will generate all the min and max. So when you're doing a data entry, let's just let's say call this min and max as minimum as 10 and maximum as 30. Yeah, that's fine. So now you get the min and max. So I'll close this. I'll try to enter the data. Let's just say 40. It will show like you have entered a data outside the range. Is that okay? DHIS will not restrict the data entry. It will still accept the data. But you say, okay, it's fine, but it just shows it in a different color, just to make sure is this fine. Sometimes what happens, like a facility is diarrhea case is very, very high. Then it's above it, it's fine. So when you have this one, you can double click and they can enter the comment saying this month there was a diarrhea outbreak, that's why the number is too high. Or in this case ANC, you can just say this is high, I will check and I'll follow it up. Because the district person is entering, I will check this data and follow up later. Okay? And then there is a star in the top. You can click on that one. And then tomorrow I'll show you the follow-up analysis where you can just show me all the follow-up which the data item I need to check. So then you can call the person or you can inquire it and you can change that there. Okay? So this data entry features, it gives you most of the things like to prevent data entry mistake. Okay, it's not, we also have validation rules, that's tomorrow, but these are the small data entry checks what we have put it in. Okay, 13 months graph, the min and max, the follow-up, and the comments. Okay, so let's close this down. Yeah.
By the way, about the min and max value, we set for the target, so we need to set every cell or set only the cell that.
No. Like, you know, like min and max is for one data element for one org unit. Okay, not for depending on the period. Min and max is for this particular ANC. It's a data element, right? And this data element has its own behavior for that particular org unit. Because like, for example, district hospital, there may be lots of delivery. Health center, less delivery. So you have to have min and max very different. DHIS will automatically generate if you already have a data for it. If you have legacy data, it will generate min and max for you. So no problem. But if you're not, then you have to go and do for every field. Once. Not every time, once. Okay? To answer your question in the morning, like you were asking about like when some data is collected by different organization, how can we do it? So we have something, like I talked about category combination. Yeah, let's go to just category combination. Yeah, let's just take, we go to, there is implementing partner and projects. So here I have implementing partners and project, and I've changed the dimension type as attribute. Okay? So then I have implementing partners and implementing and the project as category. Okay? And let me just go to category and check the implementation partner. So these are all my implementation partner. Okay? So what I did, I created the option as all these things, path, all the donors as implementing partner, and created a group called implementing partner. I created a project saying something, and then like I created all the different projects. I made them in a category, and I combined both the category into a category combination. But instead of dimension, I called it as attribute. Okay? Yeah, this one, the dimension as an attribute. And then I went to data set. Now I need to find which one. Yeah, just take that one. I'll just take ANC and this one as the same data set what we are taking. I select implement partner and projects. And so save. Now if you go to data entry screen, it will be very different. You see, you have the implementing partners here already. So you can collect your form based on this. Not only based on your org unit and your data set, but based on your implementing partner or your projects for that particular period only. Okay? And now if I change, you enter the data here, say 20. And then I'll change the project to different. So then like this is different, okay? So this data set belongs to the combination of, say, this data set, but for this particular implementing partner and in this project and for that particular month. So you can keep on adding all these things. Yeah? I didn't want to confuse you before, so I didn't want to tell about this implementing partner yet. Okay? So there are lots. The DHIS is too big. It's 10 days is also a bit too less. And I know from a lady from Myanmar, she was saying 10 days was the longest training program. So like, what I'm saying is it's too big. There are lots of options and lots of things what we have. It's just growing bigger and bigger. Okay. It's fine. Is this okay? Okay, or everyone sleeping? No, it's fine. Okay. So now we can know about the custom forms and assignments.
So, yeah. The assignments, yeah.
appearing dynamically. So what are the technologies used behind these forms?
Technology.
What's it say?
What are the technology we use behind this?
Well,
So what was the thought process and how we made these forms so dynamic?
well, we talked about apps before, right? And it's basically the same one more time. It's HTML. That's the. I'll actually. Sorry? The technology behind the form.
Can you repeat the question?
I didn't hear it completely.
I was asking that this is so dynamic and we field and everything is connected to different things so dynamically. So I was just asking what was the thought
Oh, there's just nothing, no framework. We just done it ourselves, because it's basis on like the sections. It's easy to just go through all the sections and generate the forms because we have all the data model already. So we don't use any framework for that. We just done it ourselves basically. Yeah. The data model is very, very dynamic. So that's why you can do this kind of stuff. But the data model you already seen, right? We have seen the categories, the category options and everything. And when we generate the scheme, the form, this is what we use to generate the form basically. And we have what we need already. We just you have to give a little bit hints here and there to make it look a bit better. But other than that, it's using the same data model everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, I know. This is exactly why this is why this works, and in many countries, right? Because it's not fixed. Almost nothing is fixed, and you can make adjustment all over the place. Huh? Okay. Any other questions before we start doing the custom forms again?
So as Morten suggests, if your form is simple like this MCH form, you should keep as data entry as data set section, because it will be good for you to change and people can see data element. But beside that, you can also create a custom form like this. Like you already create some data element with category as inpatient and outpatient. You don't want to put it in one form. You can create two data sets, and you put the same data element of inpatient, outpatient. But you can design a form with only inpatient, and you put only inpatient category option here. Another form is OPD. Is different. The same data element but different category. You can create two data sets. I can give another example. You can put also the color like this form. Sorry, this is a Vietnamese form. Also MCH. So you can also put the gray color that user can know that they should not enter data. Exactly the paper form. This is exactly the paper form that Vietnam use. Another example is also mother and child health form, but for hospital, I design a little bit different color, so some user they have to entry data for both hospital and health center, so they can identify. So this form on in one page, but in some form you can see example like this. It's too many column in too many rows. So I can give another example of PSI form that I worked recently. You can design the form with many color, and you can also create check tab as Morten described in dataset section. But this is custom form. You need to know about JavaScript or CSS. That thing you can ask your technical person in your team to do it.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Actually, the custom forms are basically to replicate the paper forms. Huh? Like sometimes, like in our place, like we want to see exactly like that one in the data entry screen. So that's why, like you try to create this one. Can you minimize the things to me?
Which one?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry.
So this is PSK or PSI?
PSI.
Okay, this is PSI. Okay. Yeah, so these are the different forms what they wanted to use. They enter all the different details and make different colors. So you can do whatever you want to do in the custom forms. Huh? But custom forms are tricky. Once you make it and then you want to change the form, it's like say you have to again go and put it back in. So it required lots of resources. So in a country, if you don't have a resources, not use this one, okay? Because it's very hard. Like most of the places, like in Kenya and all, we just don't say to use the custom form because there is no resources to update it and change it and other things. But like if you say there is no other option, we have to have this one, it's fine, you can have this one. Okay? Sometimes it is very, you can create simple custom forms, but you can also create complicated custom forms also.
Yeah. This is one of the complicated custom form. The one thing, the tricky of create custom form is Morten just show you that you have to insert the data element in the custom form, and that task you need to be very careful. If you insert wrong field, then you cannot see it, and user may entry wrong. So that's why you have to be very very careful. This one Morten already so this is not custom form, but it is data set section. I just want to show you that the example of option set in data element. You can create option set as some text that you want to select only. And this is yes only data element. It had the checkbox. Yeah. Okay. How to create option set? I will show you. Go to maintenance, data administration. Option set. Option set. Oh, it take long time. Yeah. We add new. Yeah, if I use logo, I cannot show another thing. We can create examples option set like uh, John, you have any example?
Yeah, like yes, no, or not applicable.
Okay.
Like just say response.
Response. So you put the name option set as response, and from here you can create option. Yes. Add option. No. Add option. Another option is applicable. Not applicable. Not applicable. Yeah.
And then we can add unknown.
Unknown. Add option. After you can move up or down to order this option, or you can edit, update the option by click that and update example applicable or something. And click update option. After that you click add button. So your option set is there. Now you go to data element, maintenance data element and indicator. Open data element function. Add new. Example.
Do you have a malaria?
Do you have malaria?
Or do you want to go for a party? Today, like you can just say, do you want to go for the beach party
Want
today?
to for the beach party. Short name, go for beach party. So from here you can select option set, respond, and add. In the data set, we add one data set because I use different database.
Test, it's fine.
3 data sets. Monthly. Select data element. Do you want to go to beach party? Save. And assign data set. Click assign to organization unit.
Just say TikTok and Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. Save. Service data entry. Select Sierra Leone, the organization unit which you assign the data set. 3 data set. Select period January 14. So now you can see the drop down list with unknown, yes, no, or applicable. User can select this. Value must be as number, because when I create data element, I didn't set it as test. Especially for option set, you have to see the data value is test.
You can also have an option set of not just numbers.
Mm.
That will actually work. But
Oh,
in this
really?
case, there was text, so it doesn't really work. Yeah? So you
Okay.
have to be a bit careful when you adding it. Make sure that the value type matches the option set type.
So value type.
No, it's not default type.
Save. So now I can select yes. It saved the yes data. So after you see on the, I want to show you about design data entry form. Continue what Morton show you. 3 data set. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Wait.
Wondering for those text-based elements, does it aggregate them the same way?
Now, text we can't aggregate, but like we can count.
So you can count it. Do you have to do a separate function to count it, or does it do it automatically?
Let's see.
If you want to find out the number of yeses or nos.
Yeah, like we have like the count, like because like all the option sets, that's why like we use free text, we can't do anything. Option set, we can count it, how many people have done this thing. But like usually option set, we use it in a tracker module. So how many people said yes and how many people said no. But on the aggregation, we haven't really used option set for counting, because like it's I don't know whether we have used it or not. Have we?
In CCI module, is it to count the model?
Yes. Like in that, because like that's all in the tracker. That's what I said. Like we use tracker concept in CCX, but like in the aggregation, it's a bit different. It's a sum and average. We don't really have the count, but like I guess like they have implemented. I don't know. Let me just check on that. But like on the tracker, yes, because like we always use option set. Option set was introduced for tracker. And then later people wanted this option set in their aggregate data entry because they didn't want to give the free text, but like they wanted people to select something from the selected field. That was the thing, but like we don't really know whether we support the count on that.
Okay, I continue the custom data entry form. We go to data set. Select design data entry form. We give the name for this form like three entry form. I can click the zoom out button to make it larger for easily design. We can add table by the button table here. On the function in this they are on the button here. You can try yourself. Table, I say okay. Let's say on other day. Assignment directly. Okay. Then you can.
Already know about this one.
Okay.
Directly for assignment. And because it's also getting late for going to party.
So now go to assignment. You also go back to the Moodle. Sorry, I need to change the.
So this assignment, yeah, you can it's fine. Whether you do it before the party or after the party, no problem. Or during the party, no problem. It's a custom forms evaluation. Group assignment.
Group assignment. You go to Moodle day 2. Select group assignment, custom forms, and validation rules. Where?
Just go back.
Yes, sorry. You should not click the this one. You should click the one with Excel sheet icon in front. Download your assignment. Open it. Very simple assignment. You can design. This is the assignment tree you already create before. Dataset with assignment tree. You design this form. The color you can put as what color you like, and insert data element. After that, you submit.
You create the custom forms, go to data entry screen, print form,
Mm.
submit. Very easy. No problem.
The solution I showed you will not work for this because this is a custom form. So it means that we have something, in the dialog, where I double click to add it to the form. It's a button called gray field. You will still add it, but this time it will be disabled. So we can show that very quickly how it works.
Yeah, because
This one you can just leave it blank and make another color.
no.
Okay.
Because this is the form which you have to create, okay? This is your assignment 3. But some people didn't create this data item because it's duplicate, right? But what we have done is just to gray it out. You can gray out the place in a different way. Let me just see, how do you get to just type the Moodle academy. Yeah. Just log in. Okay, so I'm just going to take one thing, data set here. Let me just take which one? TB reporting form, some things. Okay. For example, here, when you create, you put the fields, you have something called gray field. And it's just like gray thumb. So you can't enter any data. Okay? So there's sometimes what you have, like you have a long list of male and female, and a long data element. But you don't want to create one new data element. So then you can use this gray field. Okay? Gray field is it's very easy what you can try to use. Yeah?
Now, when you grade it out, you just wouldn't allow people to put data into that
Yes.
cell. That's what it does.
Yeah, you can't enter any data in that field. That's it.
How does that help you if you have a long list of data?
For example, when you have a list of long data item and your category option is male and female, and sometimes the option is only for the male, not for the female. So then you can gray it out. So then you can have male.
All right, I missed that stuff.
Okay? Fine, now we are going to do the assignments. There. Data elements is already there. You have created the data set. You just have to create a table. Just put something and then you are done.
Before we work on our assignment, I would like to show you some example of custom form that I already create before.